How do you start a fishing charter company? Maybe you're just doing it in the summer or you want to make it a full-time job. I live here in Charleston, South Carolina. Tons and tons of fishing, tons of companies. It's a great way to make some extra money or just make a living doing something that you love. So let's go through real quick. There's going to be 7 steps to start them. Most of them are easy. All right, first, pick a name for the company. You want to make sure it's something that no one else has. You can research this online. Just make sure that you don't have a name that someone else has, because they can make you change your name, but you don't want to end up putting it all over the website, on your boat or whatever, and then you have to change it. So that's the first step. Second, get an LLC. If you can, get the same name as your company name. If not, it's not a huge deal. The LLC does not actually give you any name rights. What the LLC does is protects you personally from the business. So, for example, if someone gets injured on your boat, you're trying to make sure they are suing the LLC that took them, that contracted with them for the charter, and not you personally. You want them to sue the LLC and not you personally. So that will protect your personal assets, any money or, assets you might have. Third thing you want to do is get a separate bank account. So there's a workaround for LLCs. They can sue you personally if they get injured, is if you're using your personal bank account to run the business. Because they'll say, well, it's not really a separate business. They just filed an LLC. The way you make it a real separate business is put all your income and expenses out of a separate business bank account. So you're going to get your LLC, and then you're going to take that LLC paperwork to a bank and say, give me a business bank account, and they'll be able to do it. All right, the fourth thing you want to do is get a business license. So you'll go to the city of Charleston, for example, and Google City of Charleston business license. There'll be a form. You can call them. Should take you, 10 or 15 minutes to figure out, and you'll fill out some stuff. They're going to try to take some money from you like every other layer of government does, and that's just the way that goes. Next would be any sort of captain's license, any kind of certifications you want to get. Make sure you can take the charters. 6 would be contracts, and we kind of call them risk management documents, rules, that sort of thing. So you want to have each person who boards your boat sign some sort of rules as to behavior and just kind of going through, listening to the captain, not getting too drunk, that sort of stuff. And then you want to have them sign a contract to make sure that they're going to pay and that they're going to listen to those rules. So you can put those together. You could do those DocuSign, but you can also have, like, in your document, you're going to have like a waiver, say they know it's dangerous. I mean, things happen fast out on the water. There is an assumption of risk to some degree whenever you go out. So you just want to make sure you highlight those risks. We don't always know what storms are going to do. We don't always know what the weather is going to do. We don't know if there's some board or old debris sitting in the water. Like, things happen. So you want to make sure that, say, there is a risk here and you're assuming that risk. This will protect you for things that happen that aren't your fault, but also doesn't protect from something if you're negligent, if you're, not paying attention, if you're, not following signals, if you're ignoring the weather. But if you're being responsible and one of these mistakes happen, as they do, that should help protect you. The last thing will be is you need to get some insurance. There is significant amount of risk being out on the water, as it's liability insurance. So if someone gets injured or worse, you want to have insurance that will help cover that. Boating accidents are very common, and, you just want to make sure that you're covered so that if something were to happen, that insurance company then comes and pays a lawyer to represent, the insured you in some sort of action if you get sued. So that's it. Get a name, get an LLC, get your bank account, your business license, any sort of captain's license or certification you need. Get some contracts, and then get your insurance. Otherwise, just go catch some fish. Good luck.